Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the NDDGames YouTube channel. I've got a deck profile here that I played for locals last week. It's Wednesday night locals, I came top 4, and yeah, it was the first opportunity I had to play the new branded cards. So I thought I wanted to play the engine, but in a deck that I had available. I didn't have all the Despia cards, so I thought I'd just play Eldlich. It seemed to work pretty well. I don't have access to Alubas just yet, so I thought I'd play like Kit Spriggan. Or Spriggan's kit, sorry, and just a few other tech cards. But yeah, literally just honestly just cards I had available, chucked them together and just got used to the branded sort of engine in general. And this deck actually isn't too bad, so we'll get onto it to start with. So we play 3 Gamma and 3 Ash. So Ash obviously is pretty standard against like Fusion Destiny. The branded Fusion hits quite a few things in the meta, but Gamma is actually really important for two reasons. So it's good protection against Sanguine, so if you go to Ash or Bell, you Sanguine. There's so much Bell in the format, so you kind of need extra cover for that. You could opt to play Crossout, but I'm not a fan of playing Crossout in control sort of decks. It doesn't make much sense. So I thought I'd play the Gamma, and Gamma actually is really insane right now, especially in this sort of deck. Because you go Branded Fusion right, and they negate it. It kind of pass turn, set a few cards, but if you negate the disruption for this or Sanguine, you can resolve your combos and take away a body, which is really important if you're negating a monster on a field. But obviously negating Ash Bell is like really important as well. And then obviously 2 Lords, you could opt to play 1. I was testing playing 1, but because we're quite trap heavy, I wanted to play the second one. And then Spriggan's Kit, because it's basically a Luba, but it's not searchable and you can't open it off branded opening. So yeah, plus it's another normal summon. In the combo, you can leave it on field and then use it for a super poly target to go into the Starving Venom. So it's not too bad to leave on field. You could banish it off the branded, the Mirror Jade, sorry, and just have more follow-up if you have more further disruption. But yeah, it all depends on your hand, I suppose. But it's just another way to get to branded fusion. So opt to play the second Albaz. Some people playing 1. I actually tested this out quite a bit, and you can actually summon it back quite a few ways. So during your opponent's turn, you could resummon it and then use the effect on your turn then to fuse away the board, and they have to answer it, otherwise you can just make more of the dragons. So it's actually alright to play 2. We could opt to cut 1, but 2's fine. I also had quite a few of these cards in my binder, so I thought I'd play just 1 for the Dragoon target, and it actually came up quite a bit. So in certain matchups where you're playing against like decks like the target quite a bit, like Sky Striker is quite prevalent right now, you can summon this and make a Dragoon. So this opts to basically substitute for any fusion material. So obviously you don't get the pops for Dragoon, but it still counts as a Towers sort of card that has a negate. Opting to play DPE, so I could cut this and play Extravagance, but then I'd have to cut the Hex and the Dragoon as well and just play more branded dragons. But I'm still messing with DPE. I think it's fine to play. It's just a really good card in general, because you're going to play quite a few simplified game states in this deck with the trap cards. So yeah, DPE sort of takes control of that and gives you a draw 2. So yeah, pretty good. Super Poly, really good card in this meta. You can also use it to OTK further as well in the battle phase. So yeah, really good card. Actually didn't come up as much as I thought it would. So it could be a side deck option. We'll see how the format shapes up after the ban list. But for now, I thought it was okay to play in the main deck, but it didn't come up as much as I thought it would. So Call of the Grave, this card's insane in this deck. And then we play the 1 Black Awakening, because it's another spell trap card for the engine, Eldlich engine, and it gets you out of 3 Lords, which can be used as a super poly. 3 Sanguine, 3 Conk, 2 Hakuuda, pretty standard here for the TCG, and then Strike and Ice Dragons Prison. So I opt to play Ice Dragons Prison because this deck can lose to like DPE. So banishing like Celestial and DPE is really important, but you have to kind of wait for them to commit to the DPE first, because obviously if you activate this, they just chain it anyway. So if they activate DPE and you respond with this, it's so strong. It's like really, really insane. There's other niche scenarios where this comes up. Not very good against Prank Kids, but just a good card in general. You could play Skill Drain in this deck as well. I was testing that for a while, but yeah, I just wanted more disruption, to be fair. And then the side deck, it's pretty hit and miss. honestly built the side deck in about 5 minutes. So 2 Lava Golem, 3 Godala, just some back row out. The evening match, which is quite good against Prank Kids if you can get rid of the Griffin Rider. And then Judgment. You could play Anti-Spell as well, but I opted to play Judgment because it protects a lot of our plays going first, as well as it's really good to like negate summons and stop them from playing as well. So yeah, really good cards. Obviously it puts you down to 4k life, which isn't great against like a adventurer in an adventurer format, because if you negate right and they have another one, they can just play it because this negates activation. But yeah, that's the side deck. So pretty standard. I'm just honestly showing this deck profile for a template for you guys to use going forwards, and yeah, I had a little bit of success off it in doing pretty well in locals. So yeah, for the extra deck I could definitely change quite a bit, but I'll get on to my reasoning in a minute for the super poly targets. But 2 of each branded dragon. I think you could probably play 3 Albion, to be fair. I think Albion's probably the best one for utility, and it gives you really good grind game as well, to be fair, as well as the Lebellion. So super poly targets, I played the Salmon Great card because Salmon Great can sometimes come up with my locals, so I thought I'd play it just to cover. It could also play the Diplex Chimera because that is 2 Cyberse. So if you play against the Dot Escaper deck, you can super poly for 2 Cyberse, which is pretty good. 1 Starving Venom, 1 Dragon Stabelia, 1 Dragoon because of the Hex, Light Hex, DPE, Verte, Dark and Light Charmer, and a Link Spider. So I was going to think about playing Access Code because you can Link Climb surprisingly well in this deck. But of course, Branded Fusion does lock you into fusion, so obviously it's not a turn you activate that. But this does give you loads of utility to summon back a DPE. Again, this lets you Link Climb if you have access to more extenders. So I don't play access codes, but yeah, I could probably cut this for perhaps another Albion, I'd say, in the future. But that's the deck, guys. So pretty cookie cutter at the moment. I wouldn't really change too much other than what I've mentioned already. So if you guys want to use this as a template going forward, feel free to. If you have any input, drop them in the comments down. We'll try and build on this, and then maybe in a month or so after the ban list, I'll do another deck profile, show you guys my updated branded Eldlich deck. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.